I am Regina Nelson. I am currently working as a psychiatric nurse practitioner. I started a business in 2018, and starting the business was scary. It was very scary because there's nobody in my family that has a business, and stepping out was very difficult. Um, However, when God presented the opportunity for me to step out, I did just that. So my foundation was faith. Faith was my foundation to get me moving forward. I'm a part of this amazing collaborative book of entrepreneur women. The book is called The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. You see, I have books all over the place. And at the end, I want to give an opportunity to get one of these books in your hands, because in this season that we're living in, you need this book. You need this book to help propel you, to encourage you, to motivate you, to move forward in the vision that you have. And it doesn't matter where you start. The point is that you got to start. You need to start, and start wherever you are. And if you, even if you got to go scared, but you got to start. I'm so honored that to be in the company of such amazing women. Growing up in Chicago, on the South Side, teenage mom, no education, you know, working through all of the pitfalls and all of the things that would have stopped someone. You know, I was a statistic that said, no education, teenage mom, you wasn't supposed to make it. That was not in the cards for you. But God had another plan. And that's why this book is so important, to encourage you to move forward in your vision, in the dreams that you have for yourself. And I'll just give a little bit about myself. I'm a health coach, minister in my church. I'm a mother of two children. I'm a grandmother of 6, 7. I am a great grandmother of 1. I know I don't look like it, but here's the thing: you don't look like what you've been through. And I've served many capacities in the healthcare field, hospice. I was a hospice administrator. I worked in the field of hospice for 16 years, and that was a true blessed job because it taught me humility, and so I walk in a level of humility right now because of that, the background that I had in hospice. Um, I've done med surg, I've done ortho. But the job that I do now, it's a calling, and it's not just a job, because the way God put it together for me to be doing this great work, and now this pandemic that's going on, and everybody needs mental health counseling, mental health support. God set me up to be doing what I'm doing in a time like this. See, he's the beginning and the end. He knows what's going to happen in the future. We don't know, but we just got to be ready to move when God says move. That's just the bottom line. And so that's just a little bit of my background, because really this is not about me, but it's about a testimony so that you can understand that you can make it too. The part of my book is selling snow cones in the hood and providing psychiatric care. And there are some points that I just want to bring out. The first point is your passion will push you past every hurdle to be the entrepreneurs that you were created to be. Another point: self-motivation is the confidence that you believe that you can conquer the world even if no one else thinks you can. Another point: taking risks is the path to entrepreneurship. You will win some, you will lose some. Both are equally important. Give your business time to grow. Stay the course. You deserve a standing ovation. Now enjoy the fruits of your labor. So these points are really key in my contribution to this great work of entrepreneur women, is because this is my journey. Now, everybody have their own journey, but my journey, you know, there's a saying, um, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And some of our testimonies will help you in your process, maybe a little different, but it will encourage you, it will strengthen you, and it will allow you to know, even when things don't look good, you can pull back on some of the testimonies of other people, how they made it through, how they stayed the course. So when you think about passion, push you past every hurdle. When I think about not being a graduate of high school and had to start from that place, I remember so I went back for my GED. Taking my GED, I missed it by 1 point. And so I had to take the exam all over again. Now, most people would have been discouraged, but you know what? I had to push past that and go back and take that exam again, because me passing that exam was setting me up for 2020, was setting me up for 2018 when the business started. So there's a scripture in the Bible says, despise not the small beginnings. We can't despise the beginnings, the things that have brought us to the place where we are. All of those things make us who we are today. All of those things create in us an atmosphere, a mindset of keep going, of moving forward, self-motivation and confidence that you believe that you can conquer the world if no one else thinks that you can. Because sometimes when you're moving forward in entrepreneurship, you're going to stand alone. And you can't tell your dreams and your hopes and your aspirations to everybody. Be careful who you talk to. Something can't be revealed until it's revealed. There are other businesses that I'm working on, and the Holy Spirit has said to me, you keep those things under wrap until I tell you to reveal them. Because everything is not, time. Timing is everything. And so I'm here to encourage you in the points that I'm giving, to let you know you can do it too. Said taking risks is the path to entrepreneurship. You will win some and you will lose some. You know what? Everything that happened in the process, whether it was good or bad, it was all working out for my good. When I look back, there's a song said, when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say I've been blessed. I got a testimony. I can truly say that those things that were not as good, those things that didn't work out, and those things that did, all of it worked out together for the making of a successful entrepreneur. And that's why this book is so key. It's so key that the making of a successful businesswoman is a process. Just like everything, it's a process. And you got to stay the course for this process. That you got to understand that as you go through, there are some good days, there are some bad days, but you have to stay the course. What do they say? It takes a business to really be established after 5 to 7 years. You got to stay the course. You got to understand that you're going to reap if you faint not. If you stay on course, do the work. And don't worry about what it looks like, because little becomes much. If you just keep going and keep moving and keep building, because what you're doing is you're building a strong foundation. You're building a foundation that will stay, that will last, that will persevere. And those are the things that you're doing during this process. Another part is and I just talked about it, give your business time to grow. You have to give your business time to grow. Even though I'm in a good place, there are dreams and visions that I have for the business that goes beyond where I am right now. And because of that, I know I'm not there yet, but I'm staying the course because I'm giving, just as I said, my business time to grow, and I'm staying the course, which is key. Stay the course. And the last point is, you deserve a standing ovation. You deserve a standing ovation because you stay the course. No, let's go back. You deserve a standing ovation because you decided to step out, period. That you decided, I'm going to move forward in this. I'm just, as the Nike sign said, just do it. You just did it. And for that alone, because how many people that you know and that you don't know, that in the grave died with them the dreams and the visions that they had for themselves. And because they were afraid they didn't step out, we have to understand just stepping out is the first step. You got to step out. Step out on faith and just do it. Don't look at what you have, what you don't have. Just, as the Nike sign said, just do it. And for that, my last point, you deserve a standing ovation because you're going to reap and enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get that. And so this book has been a blessing to me and to the people that I have gotten this book into their hands. And I want to get this book in your hands. There are 10 people that I want to get this book in your hands. I want to bless 10 people with this book. And you can reach out to me on Instagram. You can inbox me on Facebook and give me your information, and I will get this book in your hands. Because if you're thinking about, you have been thinking about, you've been complacent, in moving forward, there are 20 of us more that's in this book to let you know you can do it too. God has no respect of person. Just like he loves me, he loves you too. And he wants his best for you. And if you have a dream, aspiration, you have a business that's inside of you, that God has birthed inside of you, it's time to deliver. It's time to go into the birthing room and have that baby. Have your baby. You hear me? And this book will be an inspiration to you to show you how to deep breathe and push. That's a revelation. This book will show you how to deep breathe and how to push so that you can deliver your baby. Okay? I just want to encourage someone. And don't forget, reach out to me, because the first 10 people that reach out to me, I want to bless you with this book. You need this book on your journey. In the times that we're living in COVID-19, and everything is on shutdown, businesses are closing, people are losing their businesses, people have lost their jobs. This is the right time. It may not seem like it's the right time. The Bible says that these, where sin abounds, grace abounds much more. There's a grace that's extended in this earth right now for entrepreneurs, for these creative ideas, the things that you have held in, I think I could. Yeah, you can do it, because this is the season and the time to do it. That during COVID, because here's the thing, God doesn't share his glory with anyone. So to do it right now is the time, because God gets the glory. There's so many people and stories and testimonies that I've heard that people are succeeding during COVID-19, and you can too. So just wanted to encourage you. Don't forget to link up with me, to link up with Talisha. When I tell you, Talisha Berry is an entrepreneur's entrepreneur. She's a woman's woman. And she is making it happen, reaching out and connecting women together to pull out their potential. What has been laying dormant, she's pulling those things out. Even with me, I'm not a public speaker. I get anxiety when I'm trying to speak and all of that. That's just not my forte. But she has forced that out of me, like, you're going to do this video so that you can give your testimony, so people can be encouraged, so that you can get this book in people's hands, so that they can live out their potential. And so I'm encouraged, I'm excited. I want to, as I said, I want to get this book in your hands. The first 10 people that reach out to me via Instagram, you can inbox me on Facebook, Regina Nelson, and I will get this book in your hands. Thank you so much, Talisha, for giving me the opportunity. I speak blessings over all of your endeavors, all of your business, your magazine, and all of that, and that God would increase you 100-fold in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you all, and have an amazing rest of the year. This year's not over, and I know that it has not looked good for this year, but we still have some months left. And even in these months that we have left, there's so much more that we can do. And so don't waste the time. Get busy doing things because you still got time to finish strong. We can finish strong in this year. In 2020, we can still finish strong. So I'm encouraging you, finish strong. You can do this. All right? God bless.
Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Cowan. I am the founder and visionary officer for Mothers Helping Mothers, which is a nonprofit organization that helps homeless teen mothers and their babies. I'm actually coming to you today about this amazing book that I'm in, Business Women. We are on the move. We are doing some amazing things in our communities, and we want to just give you a little bit about how you can become a successful businesswoman. Not only do we tell you our ups and downs, but we tell you how we stay stable. And for me personally, I'm able to move forward in business because my chapter talks about how I have moved through God's plan, not my plan, because our plan can be one way and then God has something totally different for us. As for today, I'm actually sitting in my Georgia home. I am an Ohio native. I'm born and raised in Ohio, but God shifted me to Georgia to do some of the same amazing work that I have completed in Ohio, within Columbus, Ohio, and Lima, Ohio. I'm also in Cape Town, South Africa, where we help homeless teen mothers there. But he shifted me, and because he shifted me and I knew it was God, I did it. And so that's why the chapter that I wrote about in the book called God's Plan was so important to me, because I wanted to teach and elevate other women and girls on how, if you actually use the tools that God wants you to use and use the information that God is downloading in you and not the naysayers and the people around you, how much farther will you be in the industry and in the business world of where you want to be. And so I'm going to touch base a little bit about that. Thank you for coming to the summit. We thank you for supporting us. We thank you for supporting this mission. The goal for the visionary, I can't speak for her, but what I got out of the stories that I've been reading in this book is that she really just wanted all of us to be able to give you what it takes to be a successful businesswoman. What did it take for us to get started? And when I tell you, being an entrepreneur at 23 years old, there was no blueprint for me on what I wanted to do. I just know deep inside I couldn't continue to work for other people. Deep inside there was something that God really wanted me to do. And, growing up with my grandmother owning her own restaurant and watching the things that she had to endure and go through to be a business owner, even watching street business owners, my uncles and my mothers, and, just seeing that the hustle and the grind was always around me as far as making our own money or trying to do what it is to sustain ourselves for our families. And so, in 2005, I was in medical school, and, in the chapter I talk about how I just saw so many girls and women that couldn't complete their medical degree because they didn't have childcare. And for me, I'm such a person that wants to solve problems. I'm always trying to solve a problem to fix something. I want to fix solutions. Even around the house, it could be as simple as yesterday, my husband putting up the camera, and I'm like, I think the camera should go over here. I'm such a problem solver. And so that's where the majority of my passion came from, to be a business owner. I just knew I couldn't continue to work in policies and procedures that to me were still not fixing the problems of what was going on in the industry that I may have been in. And so in 2005, when I saw that a lot of our girls, the girls of the school I was attending for my medical degree, couldn't complete it, the first thing I did is said, God, what can I do? And I just, myself and a couple other friends, we started sorting out for facilities to try to find out how we can do it, and then moving forward in that, they fell off because it was really a passion and a dream of mine, but I brought them on. That's another thing about me. I'm always bringing others to join the movement because I just feel like, God, if you can connect and you can catch this, what will happen for you? And so I'm also that person. I'm also the one that is the visionary and will come up with something, and then whoever my circle is, I want to bring you on. Let's do this together. I don't want to be the one that, gets the glory and all of that. I want God to get the glory. I want all of us to eat. I want all of us to be together. And so I also do that a lot. I always want everyone to win that's around me. And so fast forwarding back to that, I decided, okay, we're going to just open this childcare center. Well, again, it wasn't really for my two partners, my two friends, still really good friends to this day. One is my best friend. And so I'm just like, okay, what can I do, God? What do you want me to do? And so I just moved forward until, the door opened. When the door opened, I started opening the childcare center. My first bumpy road was in that same childcare center. I turned it into a childcare center from a bank, and then it was double leased out and someone else got it. Business plan was left in the building. All my information was left in the building. All my equipment was left in the building. Next thing you know, I watched this young lady be able to use the business plan and open up locations all across Columbus. And outside of that, then I was so devastated by it, but I'm like, I can't stop. I know I still need to do it. And so I decided to do a home child care center. So for 3 years, I did a home child care center. So what is Dr. Cowan saying to you? I'm saying that even when things happen, to be a successful businesswoman, to be to go into the making. I guess at that time I was getting into the making of a successful businesswoman. There will be hurdles. There will be things that stop you. There will be things that just tell you it's time to throw in the towel and not do it anymore. There will be things that make you feel like it's over. But if you continue to move and push forward, it's never over. The perseverance that I've had in my spirit since I've started business, I still ask myself sometimes, I don't really know how I move forward other than seeking the face of the Lord and asking him what to do next, because there was some times that things happen and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm just over this. Do I go back into corporate America? No, because I just know I can't. I just, it's something about that world that doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't feel good. I just can't do it. And so I just continue to have tough skin and continue to move forward and created my own blueprints. I didn't have mentors. A lot of people say, well, how did you get where you're going? My mentor, to be honest with you, has been God. Yes, I go to my husband for a lot of stuff. So he's kind of like a mentor for me, because I'll be like, is this right or is this wrong? Or I don't know. And then sometimes I do it and I'm my own mentor because I bump my head and be like, okay, well, I know not to do that. And so that's another reason why I got into business coaching, because everything that I did that was a hurdle or, made me move into a different direction, or I had to go into a different area, I wanted to put that into a blueprint so that whoever I'm coaching or supporting don't have to go through those hurdles. They don't have to face some of the things that I faced. And so that's what I really talk about in this book, on how to push forward, even in the midst of trials and tribulations that you have, even life circumstances that stop you. Knowing that if this is really the calling on your life and you really know that this is what God wants you to do, you have to keep moving forward in that thing. You have to keep going towards the goals, the marking of your goals. You have to write down and set those goals and continue to move with those goals. It's been driving me crazy just the last couple of days, been in Georgia, like, okay, I'm here, I'm ready to get going. But I know I have to settle. I know I had to get my house together. I know it was some things that I had to do. I had to wait on internet. It's a lot of things that came along with the move. But I know once everything is settled, my God, what he is about to do is going to be amazing. And I know a lot of the ladies in this book can tell you that the journey is not always easy, but it is rewarding. And for me, the best part of even doing business is to leave a legacy for my children and my grandchildren and their grandchildren. That is the biggest part of what I'm doing. And I just love to give. And so being in the area of having compassion for homeless teen moms, and having compassion for girls that don't have food, and having compassion for women that really wants to move forward in life but can't because they seem to be stuck, or they have a vision but they don't know how to turn the vision into a business. That's where I come in at. I teach you how to take your passion and pivot it into a profit. And so, with COVID and everything that's going on, a lot of us is at home and a lot of us is trying to still figure this thing out. But I'm telling you, whatever it was that you were supposed to be doing, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, do it. I just had a conversation with some women a couple weeks ago before I moved to Georgia, and I said, there's some notebooks or some pads that you guys have wrote things down in maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Pull those things out, because I feel like right now is the time that you're going to birth one of those businesses or one of those ideas that you wrote on those notepads a few years ago. I think it's that time right now. And so, just understanding all of those things and knowing that you're not here for no reason. Everyone has a purpose in this life. Everyone is supposed to be doing something. And so use this time to do it. If you don't really know where to get started, it's some amazing coaches in this book. Reach out to any of us. Any of us will probably be able to take you on that path. And if it's not our area, we know one of these ladies, it's their area. So we can just connect you with them. I am so honored to be a part of this book. I'm so honored that I'm with some dope female business owners, that are making moves all across this country. Some of us are already international and global. And so we just want to teach you and share with you and show you that there is a way for you to make it. The making of a successful businesswoman was not overnight for any of us. And for any of us in this book that say it was, it really had to be like, I've seen some, but even after they became successful overnight, hell was right behind them. And so they had to learn perseverance. They had to learn how to move forward very, very fast. They had to learn how, the naysayers was right there. They had to learn how the people that were their friends that is now acting as a total enemy or stranger. I know it's some things that we all had to learn. And so we want to just give you a small little snip and a blueprint of things that you can do to move forward to not have those problems. Some going to come, but we just want to make sure that we know how to tell you how to push through them. And everybody say, Dr. Cowan just got so much perseverance. Some things when I tell you, I can write a whole book, which I'm actually writing, the Secrets in the City, because being in the nonprofit industry, there's some things that, especially as African-American women that have nonprofits, we should be able to move a lot farther if some of the crazy things that I personally went through would not have happened. And I can just tell based off of some of the other stories and how other women or other men in the nonprofit industry in other states are moving forward so fast. And so I still thank God, because even with the little funding we've had or the lack thereof, being a serial entrepreneur and being able to use my child care center money and moving forward, still being able to move my nonprofit forward almost 17 years later, helping over 40-something thousand girls in the United States, and already succeeded more than 30,000 to 30-something thousand in the UK / the Cape Town, South Africa. I know it's nobody but God that has his hands on my plans. And that's what I want to tell you, that if you move forward with him and what you're supposed to be doing in life, there is nothing that you cannot do. So the making of a successful businesswoman is you. You just have to know how to apply those things and apply what it is that you're supposed to be doing and do them. Create your own blueprint. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have someone that can push you, you create your own. Yes, the road is going to be a lot more bumpier because you have to do your errors. You have to go through trials and error. But once you get through that, baby, I'm telling you, it is all worth it. Every single sweat tear is worth it if you actually move forward and do it. You know, starting a nonprofit was not easy. Starting a childcare center was not easy. Starting a home health agency was not easy. Starting a coaching business was not easy. Writing over 9 books was not easy for me. But when I tell you the fact that I use my prayer closet, the fact that I stay on my face, the fact that I seek God for what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. I know that the making of a successful businesswoman is not over for me, because there's so much more He wants us to do. And so I just want to be that vessel. I want to be that servant that help you get to your next level. And again, I'm just so honored for Talisha putting us this book together and reaching out and saying, hey, I think that this will be a great collaboration. A lot of you have some amazing stories on where you've been and where you're going. And I'm just honored to be a part of it. I'm honored to even just whatever it is that she wants. Every time she calls me, I'm like, what you want me to do? Okay, I got you. Because I know everything that she's doing. You know, even being in the Courageous Woman book with her, everything that she's doing it's been amazing journey. You know, Girls Get Up and Win, everything that I've been a part of with her has been amazing. And so this one right here, I just think put the icing on the cake, because it's the blueprint that all of you need. You need to read these stories and understand the trials and tribulations that us women went through, my God, to get to where we are today. These accolades and all this stuff and these awards that we get, they're great, but the calling that's on our lives to do what God told us to do is even greater. And so we just, you know, put our minds to the pieces of paper and the pencil, and we said, okay, God, what is it that you want us to do? And we just moved on that thing. And that's what it is that you're supposed to do. Just move on that thing. You know, continue to push forward, because it is something greater on the other side of your vision. It's something greater on the other side of your purpose. It's something greater on the other side of your thought process. It's something greater on the other side of your pain. It's something greater on the other side of those tears that you cry at night to try to even get this thing moving. So I'm telling you, going from 23 years old to now just hit 40 this year, it was not easy, but it was worth it. Every single sweat and tear, every betrayal, every trial, everything that I went through was worth it. And it's going to be worth it for you as well. So God bless you. Continue to move forward. Understand that your purpose is here. You're going to have to figure your destiny out. Don't be stuck. It's too many of us in this book for you to be stuck. Let us show you. Let us teach you. Let us guide you if that's what you need. If this was just to come on and get a good push during this summit, then I pray that it has done that for you. And I thank God for everyone that is on this line today. I thank God for all the authors. I thank God for the visionary. I thank God that everything that we're all supposed to be doing in life that we'll continue to do. I just speak life over our businesses, life over our families, life over our finances, life over our minds, because you definitely need a peace of mind when you're dealing with business. And so I just thank God that He's covered all of our homes, that He's kept us all health and safety during this COVID. And I just thank God that everything you need is your blueprints. Most of them are right here. And, you know, and outside of the blueprints in here, just seek God's face. You know, whoever you pray to, whoever you call on, just seek the face. You know, seek the face of God and understand that it's all worth it. God bless you. And have a blessed rest of this summit. I pray it does something to you amazingly, that when you leave, you get the writing, you get the calling, you get the emailing, you get the telling people there's nothing else that's going to stop me. I am ready today. Today is that day that I'm going to start working towards my mark to become a business owner. I'm going to be working towards my mark. And so I just thank you for joining us. I thank you for allowing us to even be able to push into you today. So God bless you. Continue to move forward. It's all worth it.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Welch Lewis. I am the owner of Beautiful Designs by Stephanie, which is an interior design company that specializes in custom window treatments, bedding, and upholstery. I've been in business for 24 years, and I've been through a lot of trials and errors. And I am the co-author of this book, The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. My chapter is Wisdom or Mistakes. And one of the quotes that I shared in the book is, it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than have an opportunity and not be prepared. I don't know who is the original person that wrote that, but I know it speaks volumes to me. And I also added an example in the book of where I was not prepared. So one of the things that I would like to talk to you today is how to effectively network, which will get you prepared for when the opportunity presents itself. One of the things that you need to do is know your target market. When I first started in business, I thought, okay, anybody that have a window is my target market, but I couldn't be further from the truth, because at the time I was competing with Kmart, and which is, at the time, Kmart was the big big chain store in our area at the time. And that was not who I wanted my customers to be. And so I had to rethink who my target market was for. And I realized that I wanted to work with homeowners that had middle income or above. So just have to think about your target market. Now, once you know your target market, then you know who you want to network to get to that person that you want to get your business in front of. Now, this, of course, is pre-pandemic. So what I'm about to say is pre-pandemic. It's not during this time now. But I will have some things that I've learned during this time too. So at the time, I wasted a lot of money in advertisement and didn't get anything on my investments. So I decided to join the Chamber of Commerce, which, I thought, okay, it's a few $100s. There's more money, but I decided if I'm going to join this, then I'm going to work it. I went to the library and learned about networking, and I also developed some things on my own too. So I'll tell you a couple things that I did develop on my own that, trial and errors. Once you're in the networking, you cannot sit there and wait for people to come. You got to go out. You got to step out. So I usually approach someone, maybe one or two people, and go to them and say, hi, I'm Stephanie. What is your name? I let them talk about them and their business, because people want to talk about themselves and their business. What you don't want to do is go out and just hand your cards out to everybody. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I sell. Hi, I'm Stephanie. Hi, you might as well throw those cards in the trash, because everybody know you're a newbie and you're there for the wrong reason. You're there to develop relationships. You will get to where you're going, but it takes time. You have to gradually work your way up there. So if you're meeting these people and you have a good rapport with them, and you interested in the things that they have, and you guys just connect, then you want to take their business, ask them for their business card. And if you like them, put them in your right pocket. I always have a jacket on with two pockets. I don't have one now because I'm at home, and so I have two pockets, a right and left. If I like your services, you go in the right pocket. If not, we're not connecting, you go in the left pocket. Now, when I get home, I take out my left pocket first. Those go immediately in the trash. I don't have no need for them. We're not connecting. I don't need their services. So why do I want to connect all these cards? Because you're going to be going to more events, and you're just going to have stacks of cards. So you're not with no need for it. Well, now the ones in my right pocket, you might have written on it if this person, something to make you stand out about this person, if they wore a scarf or something that you like, when you see this card, you remember who this person is. So a couple of days go by, you call them, say, hi, this is Stephanie. I met you the other day at the network events. Would you like to meet for coffee one day and just talk business? I don't have any friends that's business owners, and they just don't get it. You can lie. I shouldn't say lie, but people love to help you. If they think they're helping you, then they're going to say, oh, sure, come on, and let them talk about themselves. Now, one thing I did forget is, once you talk to the people, ask them about their business, they're going to ask you about your business, and that's when you need to have your 30-second commercial out. Your 30-second commercial tells everything about that you want them to know in 30 seconds or less. So mine is, they say, oh, and what do you do? I said, oh, I own an interior design company, Beautiful Designs by Stephanie. I sell custom window treatments, bedding and upholstery, and other interior design. You act like you can pause, and other interior design items. And basically, I transform ordinary houses into beautiful homes. That's your tagline. Have something that they remember. What? She transformed ordinary houses into beautiful homes. So they may not remember your name, they may not, but it sticks. Okay, now let's fast forward to when you the cards and so forth. I missed that part. I'm sorry about that. So basically, that's just the tip pre-pandemic. Now for the pandemic, of course, we got to think outside the box. There's things as Zoom, and there's LinkedIn and Facebook. I use Facebook. I'm still learning a lot of those different things, including this video that I'm struggling to get together. So I'm not going to touch on those things. But with what I do with my Facebook is I post pictures of my work that I've done and say, hey, I just finished this custom. I describe what it is. And I have had people tag me in some requests for recommendation. People say, hey, do anybody know anybody that sell blinds? And my name come up about 3 or 4 times from 3 or 4 different people. Guess who they call? They calling me because 4 or 5 people, or 3 or 4, whichever I told y'all, they calling. They said, hey, this is your person. So it works. We just got to think outside of the box. Now, I also know that if you go on Facebook in the Google area, you can type in virtual networking groups and you can join some there. I haven't been in there yet. I think there's one coming up this Saturday. So that'll be the first time that I'm going to try that. Now, that's just about what I have for today. I thank you guys for your time. But make sure you pick up your copy of The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. I truly enjoyed this book. And even if I was not in this book, I would enjoy this book. So pick up your copy. You can get it at Amazon. Thank you so very much. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? I'm excited to be a part of some amazing women. 20 women who has been able to write their stories in this amazing book. It's called The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. And I'm excited because I look at so many of their stories and I look at the triumphs and the things they had overcame and the obstacles and the setbacks and the setups and the things that they had to overcome to become successful. Not only that, I want to give a kudos and a shout out to Talisha Berry. I just want to say thank you for honoring me and asking me to be a part of your platform. Thank you so much. So as I was asked to write a portion of my story in this book here, the name of mine is Nothing Happens Without Being Committed and Being Focused. So if you're trying to start a business or whatever that thing may be in you, that thing that keeps you up at night, that idea that God has placed in your heart and something you've been running with for so long, I want you to accomplish it. I want you to go for it. I want you to go for your dreams. But just know this, that nothing will ever take place unless those 2 elements play a key part. And that is being focused and that's being committed. I think about my life. I think about me on my journey, trying to open up a business over 20 years ago, of course, a beauty school. I had the hardest time. One of the obstacles was just trying to get the doors open, was trying to get past the Mount Morris Township. They gave me the hardest time. I kept going to meetings. I kept doing everything they asked me to do. It was costly, but I kept at it. You know why? Because I knew that dream was in me. I knew that goal was in me. I knew this is something I'm supposed to do. Many obstacles. I was able to get past that after much fighting and being focused and being committed. Another thing I remember was not being able to get bonded by insurance companies. They were saying you got to have $10,000 up front. Did I have $10,000 up front? Oh, Lord, no. But I kept going, knocking at door after door, being committed, being focused until that thing opened up for me. Those are just 2 obstacles. There are so many obstacles that I had to overcome. That's just 2 of them. So I just want to say this to you. Think about your dreams. Think about your goals, whether it is you want to write a book, whether you want to lose weight, something simple as that, whether you want to make six-figure income, whatever it is, it would never take place unless you are committed and if you are focused. So what is commitment? Commitment is focusing on something until you are satisfied. Being consistent, being keep going for it, day in, day out, just being consistent. When you be consistent with something, it has to come to fruition. So I think about your life. I think about like the people around me, and I think about the things that they have never accomplished. And I think about it and I say, oh, I can see that they have never been committed to anything. If I wish to follow you, I would be able to tell what you are committed to. If I wish to look at your cell phone, look at your text messages, if I can watch you as you get up in the morning, I can see if you're committed. So yes, so with that being said, I want you to just think about that thing that God has placed in you. Think about that dream. I want you to write it down, look at it. Not only that, but put actions behind it. Be committed. I think about when I try to lose weight, I want to exercise. I get up in the morning. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't want to, but I have to because I have to stay focused. Let me tell you what focus is. FOCUS. This is something I came up with. Focus on commitment until satisfied. So if I'm trying to lose weight, I keep at it and say, okay, are you satisfied? Not really. Okay, keep going for it. So whatever that thing is, you keep going until you're satisfied. Till you feel like, oh God, I feel good. I'm getting there. I'm there. So I think about I've once heard this too. They said the wealthiest place on earth, guess where that is? The grave. There's books that people had dreams that they wanted to do, never did it. There are songs that people wanted to write, never did it. There's businesses and ideas that they had, they never did it. They died with a dream, and that's the wealthiest place on earth is the grave. So don't let that be you. Never leave this earth without fulfilling whatever that thing that was placed in you. So with that being said, I just want you to be committed. I want you to stay focused. So whatever those things that God has placed in your heart, I want you to pursue it because nothing, I mean nothing will ever take place without being committed and focused.
Woo, all right now, all right. Man, that was all right there. Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for helping me to set the atmosphere for about 45 seconds of worship music. And I do not own the rights to that song. That was Be Healed by Bishop Eddie Long, presents New Birth Total Praise Choir. And the name of the CD was New Beginnings. And I thought that was appropriate and fitting for today, because for some of us after today, and all this women talking, oh, it may be a new beginning for some of us today. So I want to welcome you to the Successful Business Women Summit, and hope you've enjoyed that intro. My name is Tina Batten, and I'm founder and president of the faith-based organization, Sister Batten Productions. I'm a visual storyteller, independent Christian filmmaker. Basically, I'm a writer for hire, right? And as a woman of God, nothing else makes me more happier than to spread the good news of Jesus Christ through my visual works of arts on stage, and my stage performances, monologues, skits, and concerts, and live dinner shows, films, like my award-winning short films. And I'm currently working on my feature film, ooh, and I'm super excited about that one. And now books, of course. As a co-author on this beautiful book project, The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. And I wanted to welcome everyone. Let's see. And I'm coming from the comfort of my own home, my home office, okay? So I hope you all are comfortable and relaxed somewhere as well. So just wanted to just say that I'm thrilled to be a part of this summit. And with the strength and of all these women participating, it is our hope and our prayer that we encourage you on today, that something shared throughout this day in the different talks will inspire you to step out on faith, to allow yourself to be stretched into new territories, birth new businesses. We just encourage you to move forward in all you do, you know? And let's see. I also wanted to make sure that everyone knew that they are welcome, from our new person, maybe just thinking about starting a business, to our seasoned entrepreneur. You are all welcome here, okay? Let's go right into it. Entrepreneurship is the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risk in the hope of making a profit, right? Let's see. The topic for today is, yes, it all matters. You understand that it all matters when we go through our key points, but your business represents you. And the key points that we're going over today are conduct business, integrity, right, that's a good one. Humble beginnings, start at your level, not my only gig. Quality over quantity, and pay it forward. And we're gonna come together, come back. Yes, how it all matters. Your business represents you. So let's go right into it. Key points. The first one, conduct business. How you conduct business matters, okay? You just can't treat people any old kind of way, right? And expect to maintain customers or clients, right? We have to treat people the way we like to be treated. Personally, I like to be treated very well. So in return, I treat people very good. Whenever I have company and people come over to the house, they get the red carpet treatment. My husband be like, T, you doing way too much. But I can't help it. I just love to love up on people, you know? It's a good thing. Next, we have integrity. Y'all know that's important. Woo. So we must have integrity in all that we do. Word is bond. Be honest in all of your dealings. All your dealings, simply put, in business and out of business, okay? My close friend and I love to say, let your yes be yes and your no mean no. And that's word of bond. Let's see, next we have, additional key points we have. In my chapter of the book, I write in more depth about these next few points that we're gonna go over. So as a storyteller, I have some really funny stories and real life experiences that I wrote in the chapter. But for today, I'll just touch bases on them just a little bit. And I won't be before you very long. Like the pastor do, and he get up there and he preach for 4 hours, and say he ain't gonna be long. I'm only kidding. That's a joke. Haha. No, but anyway, I personally, I won't be before you long. We have other women coming up, and we want to make sure that we have the allowable time, because you are important to us. So next we have key points, humble beginnings. When I'm referring to humble beginnings, I'm referring to those times when you had to ration, right? Especially startups. And ration is when you have a fixed amount of a particular thing. It's rationing. Your budget is your budget. You may have to allocate a certain dollar amount for this, or for that, and it's important. If funds isn't a problem for you, then you probably don't have to worry about the rationing. But with all the startups, especially with startups, money is an issue. And we do need to ration out, and we do need to allocate, and we do need to restrict ourselves sometimes, because our business depends on this. It depends on having enough to survive, right? In business. But later on, when you reach a certain milestone, it's more than okay to reflect, look back to how far you've come in your business. But we got to survive first, okay? And remember your humble beginnings. And I do that quite often, really. Next, we have start at your level. Yes, that means to use what you have right now, today. You may not have much, but please start at your level, whatever that level is for you at this particular time. The most important thing is that you started at your level. And a lot of us, I personally am not where I want to be, but I'm still striving for it every day. And I had to start somewhere. So, and I started at my level. I started at what I had at that time. And next we have not my only gig. Okay, that's the performer talker in me. That's stage talk. Not my only gig means finding ways to create multiple streams of revenue for yourself, for your business. And if we do this, how can I make it work for myself? And to be able to create multiple streams of income, you think about it, research it, do your homework. But make sure that this happens for you. And creating that residual income, yes, that's even better. And that's that income over and over again, that the amount of money that you continue to generate after your initial work is done, such as royalties from books and movies and songs. Woo-hoo. That's what we talk about. That's that residual stuff. That's good. That's real good. Okay, praise God. Then we have quality over quantity. Now, this is big because we live in a right now type of society, right? Where everything is so fast, the microwave is too slow for us. We don't have enough time for this or to do that. We don't have enough time for do this, do that. We're rushing here, we're rushing there. In my opinion, I'd rather have quality any day of the week over quantity. Now, I'm not saying that you move so slow that you actually hurt your business. We don't want that, but keep the pace, of course. But if you put junk out in whatever business that you have, I'm guessing that you may limit your potential of having repeat customers, or client referrals may not come as often. I'm just saying. Something to really think about, honestly. So I say give it your best on the first order, or your best on your first service or your product, whatever that may look like for you. Because sometimes you only have that one opportunity to make sure that we do it right the first time, right? So as a filmmaker, a writer, I only have one time to hit these investors or people of influence. That's it. And I definitely got to make sure that I did that thing right. So always work in total excellence to the best of your ability. Lastly, we have pay it forward. And I love this one. Being in a position to bless someone is so meaningful, you know, so meaningful. And they didn't even know that it was such a blessing, and it's so honorable and a wonderful thing to do when and if you have the opportunity to do so. Absolutely. So I told y'all I wasn't going to be before you very long. So with all that was said, prayerful that you have some takeaways from our short talk, and you can see how, yes, it all matters. All of that we said, all of those key points matters, and your business represents you. Because when we know better, we tend to do better. And I'm sure you all can agree that knowledge is power, honey, because we want to grow. We want to grow our businesses. And honestly, we grow with our business, together with our businesses. Business is like having a child, you first give birth to the idea of entrepreneurship, then you have to nurture it, and we have to put time in it and put energy in it, and we gotta take care of it, we got to love it, and we got to feed it. So it's funny how it works. It's true. I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day and scheduling and this allowed time to sit in on the Successful Businesswoman Summit. And there's more people to come. It's a 2-day event. Before I go, I will share my motto with you. And my motto is bringing messages of hope and encouragement from the street, because that's where I'm from, coming from New York, Philly, New York, to the stage. That's where they're birthed, first as a playwright and now to film and books. So, and before I go, I wanted to also I wanted to give a shout out. I definitely have to give my shout out to my sister in the gospel, Talisha Berry. Girl, come on now. Her and along with her team is responsible for this summit. And I thank you so much for the opportunity. I have fun, and I hope you guys have fun too. So much appreciation, sis. And I told you before, great job on the book and compiling all the stories and business insights from myself and my co-authors on this project. Stellar job. You hear me? I love this. Y'all did that. And continued success and your team for all of your future endeavors. And you have my cell number, so you can call me when you need me, sis. Now, let's see. Oh, giveaways. We have 5 ebooks to give away. Okay, so the first 5 people who reach out to me, inbox me on Facebook will receive the link to go on Amazon and download the free copy of your book. And then in addition to that, for those who wish to purchase an autographed hard copy of the book, send an email to me, sisterbatten@gmail.com, and then subject line to put autographed copy of the Making of a Successful Businesswoman book. And I'll write you back with the information that I need from you and give you my Cash App and that sort of thing, okay? Again, I hope you all enjoyed this book. What I really love about this collaborative book project is not only does it give you the business insights for any level of entrepreneurship, but it also steps for startups. In the back of the book, you'll find a Business 101 section. It's really cool. It's like a little extra little bonus going on there. And I love that section. And I believe that you'll love and appreciate it as well. And I especially, and referring to the book, I appreciate the honesty of all of my fellow co-authors. My sisters did that. Just wait till you get it. Get this book, read the stories and the testimonies. it's definitely a journey, and it will bless your heart tremendously. It really will. It's blessed mine. So again, send me an email for your very own autographed copy of the book. And it adds value. And it's pretty cool because I always write a quick note of inspiration inside the cover. So do that. I appreciate that. I would appreciate that very much. And here we go. And let's keep in touch. Here's all of my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me. I have my films available on Vimeo for download. And I look forward to hearing from you all. And again, I pray that the purpose of this inspire, uplift, and encourage you on your journey to entrepreneurship, to step out on faith, allow yourself to be stretched new territories, new businesses, and enter into entrepreneurship. So take care, everyone. Be blessed. Stay safe. Giving God all the glory. Now, the same way we started is the same way we going to end that thing with 30 seconds of worship music. And after that, my production logo will hopefully play appropriately, I pray. So God bless. Look forward to looking. Let's see. Stay tuned. And enjoy the worship music. And have a wonderful day. Be blessed, everybody.
Hello. I am Gail M. Carter, CEO and founder of Lightshift 360. I'm super excited to be with you right here, right now. Raise your hand if you are enjoying these awesome nuggets that we're giving you today at the summit. I really want to sincerely thank Talisha Berry, an amazing lady and founder of Courageous Woman Magazine, for giving me this opportunity to be with you today. Now, you never know who's going to be the one for you in life. I met Talisha on an airport shuttle in 2019 in Washington, D.C. on our way to SpeakerCon. So what am I saying to you? You don't know who God is going to use to help you on your journey in life. At the same time, you are probably called to be a blessing for someone else. So we need to be present and aware of all the opportunities around us. As leaders, business owners, and employees, we all have a responsibility and a purpose to fulfill. Today, we're going to talk about the keys to success through harnessing the power to serve. I invite you to grab a copy of the book later as I cover these in more detail in the chapter as well. So let's get right to it. Let me ask you a question. Are you living powerfully? There are 3 keys to own your power that I want to share with you today. Number 1 is leadership. Leadership starts with you. Decide to step into your greatest. Decide to be the one for others. Someone out there needs your help right now, and you can be the one that they need. Number 2 is mindset. I want you to believe in your dreams. This challenging time too shall pass. And we have to stay in faith right now when things are tough, and we have to pass this test. Develop a daily growth mindset routine to unlock your full potential. And finally, number 3, alignment. Success occurs when you pursue the things that you enjoy and that you're great at and you can make money at while serving lots of people. I encourage you to align yourself with doing something that you're good at and that people want and need. So you may be wondering, who am I and why should you listen to me? As a business owner, I help clients to own their power in various areas of their life. I am the founder of Lightshift 360 LLC, where I help clients to engineer the plan to harness their inner power through platforms like coaching, speaking, and writing, and publishing books, and hosting virtual and in-person events. I'm also a solar energy sales consultant with Power Energy, where I help clients to own their power by going solar so that they save thousands over time and help the environment as well. Now, a bit of my story. I'm originally from the Caribbean island of Barbados, and I moved to this country in Florida at 18 years old to study civil engineering. I spent 16 years of my life in corporate America, working for top Fortune 300 companies in various civil engineering management roles. And I focused on infrastructure development in the oil and gas and renewable energy industries, as well as transportation. Then the entrepreneurship bug hit me, and after a corporate merger, I left corporate America, and this is where I am today. I'm gonna go share a quick video about what we do at Lightshift 360 with you.
Hi, I'm Gail M. Carter, Global Business Impact Strategist and CEO and founder of Lightshift 360. My team and I create strategies that bridge people, business, and social impact, leading to enhanced employee engagement, business growth, and purposeful contribution to the community. As a business and engineering professional, over many years in various management positions in corporate America, I've actually noticed the importance and the need for a strong leadership culture to improve employee engagement, retention, growth, and fulfillment. That's why I founded Lightshift 360 LLC. Our vision is a world where employees feel fully connected, self-expressed, inspired, and fulfilled daily in workplaces. You can connect with me now on various social media platforms at Gail M. Carter and visit my website, gailmcarter.com.
So this book, The Making of a Successful Businesswoman, is all about our journey to success. The journey was not easy. We have to fight the scary things, the doubts, the fears, and we have to leave the familiar past and move into unfamiliar territory. Many people are afraid to take a leap of faith, take that big plunge, to start a new journey in life. Many are caught in the trap of indecision. Many can feel stuck, stressed, burns out, or crave more meaning, more impact, but don't know how to strategically break free and level up. A few years ago, I took that leap of faith. I decided to reinvent myself, to find my natural flow, something I enjoyed doing every day. Now, before taking that leap of faith, I had successfully climbed that corporate ladder. And looking back, I will always be grateful for the supervisors that I had during my career, and all the mentors who helped to guide me to get me to where I am. In life, yes, some things are out of our control. But the magic is in how we choose to respond to our circumstances. Deep down, there was an awakening in my spirit. Sometimes we have to surrender to what is. Sometimes the universe creates these opportunities for us that are at our present moment can seem daunting. Like that merger, or losing a job that you love and dedicated all your life to. Like being furloughed right now with this pandemic, or dealing with a stressed out, horrible boss. We can't dwell on the negative. I invite you to focus on opportunities and focus on that light that's shining ahead. Entrepreneurship is that roller coaster. It's unpredictable with ups and downs and turns. However, I now enjoy helping people level up to their true potential. I will say, fortunately, my corporate career experience did teach me the importance of business planning, the importance of discipline, logical problem solving, integrity, accountability, and how to work under pressure, the ability to effectively delegate, to get buy-in from others, to create structures, systems, processes, and all these automations that we need in our businesses, and to improve efficiencies, and have the art of networking with influential people. I think that our journey and past experiences help us to get from one point to another in life. So what inspired me? Well, I wanted to play an infinite game in life. Let me say it took about a year of strategic planning, preparation, and mindset to advance beyond the 9-to-5 job. It's not an easy thing to do. Though externally I had a successful career in education, I still felt internally unfulfilled. I felt like I reached a ceiling. If I really reflect on it, what was missing for me is a sense of purpose, the greater impact, and fulfilling something that was bigger than myself. It took that merger to open up the opportunity for me to try a new path in life. How many of you are thinking right now that you want that greater sense of purpose, to be more fulfilled, and to make an impact? Raise your hand if that's you. Yeah. I also wanted freedom, balance, flexibility, more autonomy and self-expression, and to powerfully create that bigger difference in society. I had to redefine my definition of success from short-term thinking, like how much money was I making. I had to forget about my ego and looking good versus looking bad, and having that prestigious career. I had to refocus on thinking of what my legacy would be and what legacy I want to have in this world. I am here to serve. and I would like to share my 5 steps to personal and business success. Follow these short snippets from our 5-step methodology serve blueprint under the Impact 360 leadership system so you can harness your inner power to create even more impact. The 5 steps are strategize, empower, ramp up, value, and expand. So let me take you through these in more detail. Tip number 1 is strategic planning to maximize success. Create a solid foundation before starting your business. You will need a plan to successfully accomplish your goals. In the beginning, it's important to self-reflect and understand your strengths and how to complement your weaknesses. Plan for alternate sources of funding. I would suggest having solid personal and business credit too, so you can borrow capital for your business. Save funds and find access to low interest and long-term credit to make sure that money does not become a limiting situation. Hire a coach even if you believe you are qualified. You may need someone to champion you and help you to see the things that you don't see and help you to show you what you don't know that you don't know. Don't do it alone. Build a team if possible. Hire freelance workers and consider joint partnerships. You can only go so far alone. I want you to hear this. To be successful, the first fight and challenge that you have to fight is the fight in your own mind. So tip number 2 for you today from the Light Shift 360 Serve Blueprint is to develop an empowering growth mindset. Success requires courage. Go ahead and take that leap of faith. Put courage into motion. Fear is a good motivator. One of my coaches once told me when I started doubting myself, whenever I say I can't, it means that I must. The mindset required to be a successful entrepreneur is different from the mindset of an employee. Corporate America provides us with a structure, a supportive community, and systematic work routine that helps us get things done. As an entrepreneur, the challenge is motivating yourself. You have to know what your why is. Why are you doing what you do every day? What's the big thing that you want to achieve with your life? Your why is what's going to drive you. Tip number 3 is to focus on achieving results by ramping up into responsible, inspired, and applied action every week. Let me tell you, you have to take action and put in the work, and then you begin to see success in your life. Success loves speed, so avoid procrastination. Procrastination can move you towards indecision. You have to fully commit and be all in. I learned this the hard way. It's a struggle to ride 2 horses effectively. You can't give to 2 things effectively. Tip number 4 on our journey to success is to leverage your value. Understand the value that you bring and the viability of the market. Build something that you believe in and you're passionate about that aligns with your personal and business values. Focus on the legacy that you want to have in this world. Tip number 5, finally, is to expand your vision and expand your reach for maximum impact. Expansion is all about taking risks and getting outside your comfort zone. It's uncomfortable for most of us, but we have to find new ways to meet new people and be known. We have to be vulnerable and open up ourselves to new experiences and seek to understand others so that we can serve them with our gifts and our talents. We have to be authentic and be ourselves and push past the status quo. Don't be afraid of change or what others think. Take the risk and bet on yourself. Well, I hope that you gained some nuggets today. We can all lead and serve at a higher level in life and business every day when we come from a place of love. I highly encourage you to join a community that helps you to build confidence. Surround yourself with the right people that will support and motivate you. If possible, avoid people that will drain your energy and don't understand your passion or need for yourself to take more action in life. You need to be resilient right now, especially if you want to advance further in your career and in your business. I invite you now to look at the link below. Go there and order a copy of this inspiring book today. It's only $20. The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. 20 entrepreneurs like me share our stories of our journey to becoming business owners. We discuss pivotal moments, our highs and our lows, and how we press through our hardest times during our journeys. Our inspiring stories will provide you with an inside look to overcoming obstacles. If you or someone is thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, these stories will motivate you to get started today. If you know someone who's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, kindly share this book with them as well. If you go to paypal.me, go to paypal.com/PayPalMe and go to MGC Holdings /$20. Just put in the $20 and I will give you a signed copy of this book. I would love for us to connect so I get to know you even better. The life that we want is waiting and we have to just take the first step. Instantly connect with me on social media by texting Gail to 64600 to get my digital business card to your phone. You can schedule some time with me on the calendar there too. Let's connect. Check out our website, lightshift360.com, and look at the events that we offer and our various programs. Feel free to reach out to us for coaching opportunities or speaking engagements. Again, thank you very much for this opportunity for me to share with you, get to know you, and I look forward to connecting further. You guys all have a blessed and fruitful day. This is Gail M. Carter, CEO and founder of Lightshift 360.
Hello, my name is Wilma Blyden and I am the founder of the network She Designed the Life She Wanted. And this network is aimed at women who are focused on self-improvement and growth and are looking to design a meaningful, impactful, and joyful life using biblically based principles. One of the services offered within the network is coaching, and I help persons move from where they are to where they desire to be in life. And this is done by asking you strategic questions with an aim to receive the answers that's already on the inside of you. In a coaching session, I help process your thinking, renew your thinking to help you make informed decisions. I believe coaching is about transformation. I work alongside you and support you on your journey until you are where you desire to be. Let's pause for a moment to answer two questions. The first question, what is the goal you're trying to achieve? And two, what is standing in your way of achieving that goal? You can go ahead and write down the answers. In my chapter titled Just Start in this anthology on page 33, I shared my journey and how I became an entrepreneur. And it all started by writing a book. I became an author, a speaker, and a coach. And to sum it up, an entrepreneur.
In my book that I wrote is titled She Designed the Life She Wanted, 4 Women, 4 Journeys, 1 Church. And I share the transparent stories of how 4 women use biblically based principles to overcome the challenges they faced on their Christian journey. In the book, I wrote about restoration. In my experience dealing with women, most persons view restoration as being restored to who they were before they experienced challenges or pain. But in my personal experience, I found that restoration is being restored to God's original plan and purpose for your life. See, everyone has a story, but what matters is how you overcome. And I've noticed that coaching can help you overcome challenges that you faced. There are lots of benefits to coaching. Coaching can help you obtain clarity. It can help you identify your values, both your personal and your professional values. It helps you learn your biblical identity or understand your biblical identity. And it helps you break down your goal into manageable steps so that they're easier to achieve. And it also helps you to take action, move from where you are to where you desire to be. So like I said earlier, everyone has a story, but what matters is how you overcome. So in a coaching session, I help clients focus on becoming the victor and not the victim. Focus on their triumph and not their trial. There are 3 words that have guided me on my entrepreneurial journey. And those 3 words are believe, win, and manifest. And I'll share them with you. First, believe. Believe in who you are and whose you are. Develop a belief system that you are able to do all things through Christ who strengthens you, who gives you strength. Number 2, win. Develop a winning mindset. Against all odds, believe that winning is your only option. The key to success lies in your hands. It lies within you. You decide whether you win or whether you lose. And manifest. You can't be something that you don't see. So speak those things that be not as though they are. Speak what you want to become so that you are able to achieve it. I enjoy coaching women within the network. I give them strategies and tools to help them win, believe, manifest, so that they can achieve their goals. In my book, in my chapter in the anthology, I wrote 3 things that persons can use to help them on their entrepreneurship journey. The first one is don't allow what you don't know to stop you from achieving your goals. So if you have to outsource, outsource. Number 2, develop a support system. And this support system may not always include your family or your friends. So you may need to 3, extend your network. And this just means by attending events. But now with COVID, it's good to attend a lot of virtual events. Be a part of community events via Facebook or Instagram so that you can extend your network. So those 3 tips can help you on your entrepreneurial journey. Outsource if you have to, extend your network, and develop a support system. This book can be purchased on www.amazon.com. It can also be purchased on www.courageouswomenmag.com and also on my website, www.wilmablyden.com. If you would like a coaching session, you can please email me. Visit my website on wilmablyden.com and just send me a message at info@wilmablyden, and I'll be offering 30 minutes free consultation with you. And I look forward to speaking with you, and I wish you all the best on your journey to becoming an entrepreneur. The journey is challenging, but it's very rewarding, and I believe that you can do it. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. There is nothing too hard for you. Just believe in yourself, develop a winning mindset, and manifest what you want to be in life, and you too can become a successful entrepreneur. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Well, hello. My name is Dr. Valika Moore, and I'm the owner of Empowerment Through Expression, LLC, Therapy Center, and Mind Spa, as well as Brilliant One Unlimited, LLC, Coaching and Publishing. I am just so elated just to be here today, just to share with you just some things that are nearest and dearest to my heart. One of those things definitely being entrepreneurship. So I became an entrepreneur, well, what I consider many ages ago, because I feel like I always had the just the vision of creating things and just doing things that would generate income. So this was years and years ago, from around the time that I was about 8, 9 years old. But when entrepreneur actually became real for me was 6.5 years ago. And that's when I started my first business, Empowerment Through Expression, LLC, as a therapist. This was something that I had dreamed about for years, from the time that I was 18 years old, went away to college, and decided that I was going to be a therapist. And in my mind at that time, all I could think about was, I'm going to be a therapist. I'm going to start my own practice. And although that was years later, I was just so super excited to one day be able to step out and to manifest, or to see that vision manifested. And that was 6.5 years ago. And it has just been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, entrepreneurship. However, as it has been rewarding, that doesn't mean that it has not come with its share of challenges, with its share of disappointments, with times of hurt and times that called for re-evaluation. And that during the process of entrepreneurship, that is when I learned one of my greatest lessons, and that was called wisdom. But not only wisdom as we look at wisdom in what we know, our knowledge, what we feel that we should do based on our experience. That's good too, and we definitely need that. But this wisdom that I'm talking about is the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God. Because there's no greater wisdom. Who knows more than God? And most of what we know, especially when we receive those moments of discernment or revelation, knowing how to move forward, when to move forward. A lot of the time, if we really take time to listen and to be in tune, it's coming from Him. It's coming from God. So that has been one of my greatest lessons through entrepreneurship. And I am so excited and just so honored to have been able to share my experiences in this wonderful book, The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. And I just thank Talisha Berry so much just for the opportunity to be alongside so many awesome women who have also shared their experiences in this book. So as we move forward, because I definitely don't want to hold you all long, but I just want to share some of the things in wisdom that I have learned while I have been in entrepreneurship. So just a couple points, or a few points that I'm going to talk about today, is wisdom in knowing who you are and your value. Wisdom regarding seeking and taking on the right opportunities, as well as wisdom to keep going even when it gets tough. So those are going to be 3 points that I am going to address today because I know them well. I know them well from experience, but these are definitely some of the things, some of the experiences or encounters through entrepreneurship that I have certainly learned to use wisdom. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So wisdom to know who you are. the wisdom in knowing who you are. So the Word of God tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. It tells us that we are a royal priesthood, a peculiar people. It tells us that we are created in His image. It tells us just so much about who God purposed us to be, why He placed us here, and what he wanted for us being here. One thing in one scripture that I have used to really help lead me in business over the past couple years talks about letting our light shine. Letting our light shine. Because sometimes when we're not really clear on who we are, or we feel like, okay, I'm new to this, so let me just kind of sit here, fade in with the background, or let me maybe downplay what I'm doing because maybe there's others who I feel are better, or maybe because I don't want to seem like I'm bragging or that I'm better than others. But God tells us, let your light shine. The Word of God tells us that. Let your light shine. The light that He put in us, Him through us, Him shining through us. That's that light. And everything that He's given us, all of the knowledge, Him allowing us to be educated in our fields, to do what we love to do and do what we do best. All of that comes from Him, the ability to use that knowledge, the ability to have acquired that knowledge. So we have to let our light shine. We have to allow others to see who is really getting the glory in this. And if we just push down what we have, what He's given us, all of the gifts, the talents that He wants us to use, then how are we giving God the glory? How are we making sure that He gets the glory through our businesses? Because most of the times, the things that we're doing in entrepreneurship, they're based on gifts. They're based on just these good and perfect gifts that He's placed inside of us. Gifts that we can use unlike anyone else because they've been placed on the inside of us. Even if there are so many people doing the same exact things that we're doing, no one can do them exactly like you. It doesn't matter how many people are in the room that are doing the same things as you. It doesn't matter how many people are in the marketplace that are doing the same things as you. No one can do it like you. So your voice has to be heard. Your face has to be seen. So let your light shine so that God can get the glory through you. And that makes you very valuable. The fact that He placed whatever it may be in you. Whatever it may be, whatever that gift is, whatever that talent is, whatever He's purposed and called you to do. Do it to your best ability. And don't let your value fade in the background. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It doesn't matter how great you might think that you are at it, or even other people questioning your ability to carry it out, or if you're sure, or, well, maybe you should wait a little bit longer. That's where the wisdom comes in you knowing who you are, what you have to give and how valuable it is right now. So the next thing is wisdom regarding seeking and taking, accepting the right opportunities. So when we first get into business, one of the things that we first think of is, we want opportunities. We want to get out there. We want people to purchase our services, our products. And sometimes we are so excited to get an opportunity that we'll take any opportunity. And here's when wisdom comes in again. And here's when knowing your value comes in again, and knowing who you are and the gifts that's been placed inside of you. Because every opportunity is not going to be your opportunity. No matter how good it sounds, no matter how good they make it look, every opportunity is not going to be your opportunity. And the way that you know that is through the wisdom of God, going to God, being in tune with his voice, and being in tune with him inside of you and who you know that you are. And we need wisdom. We need to be connected to know these things, because sometimes a good opportunity is there, but it might not be a God opportunity. It might not be the best opportunity for us. It doesn't mean that it's a bad opportunity. It doesn't mean that the person that's presenting it is a bad person, but it just might not be what's right for us. And sometimes we can feel it. That's why discernment is so important, because sometimes we feel it. We know it. We know that this is not the right door. But because we're so focused and so hungry for just an opportunity, just for, just for the opportunity to be able to get out there and share what we have, we'll say, okay, I'll take it, even though it might not be the right one. Even though it might not really be connected even to your values. So that's when we have to be integral with ourselves and what we know is best for us, and what we know is in alignment with what God wants us to do and who he has created us to be. So every opportunity, even though it might seem good, doesn't necessarily mean that it is good. And this is one of the things that I had to learn, and one of the first things actually that God showed me in business. And I'll just share an example of this. When I first was stepping out into business, I had someone that I knew. I was asking them some questions about business. They were somewhat giving me some insights about business, and then they presented me with this opportunity that was like, incredible, because I was kind of, do I want to do this? Am I ready to do this? And they presented me with this opportunity that made me say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. But then as time went on, I realized through their actions and some things that they weren't doing, that this is probably not the opportunity for me. And even though I wanted it to be the opportunity, but based on their actions, they weren't really they weren't really taking the steps that they said that they were going to take. And in that instance, God showed me that the opportunities that I give you, I don't want you giving other people the glory for what they have done for you. I want you to make sure that you're giving that glory to me. And what I realized was in that opportunity, if that person had have done what they said, and I had have been able to go ahead and step out and start my business, and everything, just would have fallen in place the way that it seemed like it would have, I'm not so sure that I would have I would have been giving God the glory that he deserved for allowing me to be able to step out and for that business to be manifested. So I understood. At first I was upset, as we can sometimes get upset, but I understood that, okay, that's why that opportunity couldn't come to pass. And it didn't really have a lot to do with that person, but it had more to do with me and me learning that the opportunities, the promotions, they're going to come from God. They're not going to come from man. Even though he can use a person to provide or help you identify resources, at the end of the day, God is the one that put them there in our path. So we have to know when it's God that has put people in our lives, when it's not the right opportunity and he didn't put them there, as well as just learning that more than anything, with the opportunities, it's God. It's God. And we have to make sure that we stay aware of that so we can take the right opportunities, and knowing when God has placed them there, when he has not, and knowing who to give the glory to. And just to end, or just to kind of talk about that, so business went forth when I realized that God provided all the resources more abundantly than I could have ever imagined, more than what was being presented to me. So that was just something that he taught me early on, and I have carried that throughout my 6.5 years of business, and will continue to carry that. All right, so wisdom in keeping going even when it gets hard. Wisdom to keep going even when it gets hard, because sometimes when it gets hard, we'll say, all right, maybe it's not, maybe this isn't for me, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And it doesn't mean that you're supposed to quit. That's why that discernment is so important. That's why knowing if God has given you that idea and that vision, and more than likely he has, that he's not going to ever leave you or forsake you, that he's already gone before you and prepared the way. But that's why it's so important to make sure that you are in tune and you're connected with him to know what it is that you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. Making sure that in every step that you are seeking him on what to do next and how to do it. And then when he tells you that you're moving forward, because a lot of the time we can get stuck because we're like, well, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I'm not sure if that's what I'm supposed to be doing yet. Maybe I'm supposed to do this more time, or wait and give this more time. And sometimes God is saying, go, step out, do it now. Do it even if it's hard. Do it even if you're a little afraid. Just do it. I've put the vision there. I've gone before you. I've already prepared the way. This is what you're supposed to be doing now. So we just gotta be in tune to know when to go, when to stop, when to turn left, when to turn right, when it gets hard, that we're supposed to keep going. And if it's not the right thing, and if it's not the right step, and it's not the right path, that we're in tune so we can be redirected, so that we can reevaluate and we can get the right plan. And so that is pretty much all that I have today. I hope that this has been helpful. I can't wait for you to read my chapter and all of the wonderful chapters in this book that the ladies have written. I have gone through them. I have been incredibly blessed by the stories, the content in this book, and I know that you will too. All of the ladies have shared incredible wisdom. So you need this book, y'all. You need this book. You need this book. If you are a new entrepreneur, you need this book. If you are a seasoned entrepreneur, you need this book, because we always can stand to have the reminders, or just the reminders, the support, the inspiration, because sometimes as we've been in something for a while, we can kind of lose that savor. It can be not as exciting, or when just things have come, the circumstances, the hardships, the difficulties have come, it can make us lose our vision a little bit. So it's always nice just to have those reminders, to be able to sit and just hear somebody else's story and how they got out. Because there might be something that we didn't go through in the first 1 or 2 years of business, and you might be in 20 years, and there's someone that's gone through that and they can share it with you. So there's so much knowledge, there's so much wisdom, there's so much insight in this book. I just want to make sure y'all can see it good. And so you need to get this book if you have not already gotten it. And it is The Making of a Successful Businesswoman, compiled by Talisha Berry. So many awesome authors, some of them that are my sisters in business for life, that have been on this journey with me. So you're definitely, you're in good hands. You're in good hands if you get this book. So I gotta go ahead and get ready to jump off of here, because I know I am out of time. But once again, I just want to thank Talisha so much for allowing me to be a part of this great work. You definitely have to get your copies, ladies. You can go to Amazon, or you can get it directly from me. I will sign it for you. Put a nice little message in there personally to you if you want to order it from me. You can order it through my, through my website. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get it up on my website, and then through Cash App. You can let me know if you just want to cash at me. You can cash at me at Dr. Dr. Valeka, Valeka Moore, Moore. So again, that is $ Dr. Valeka Moore. You can cash at me through there. You can let me know that this is for my book. I want to get this book, and I will be delighted to sign it and to get it out to you. You can also email me at Dr. Valeka Moore, info at drdrvalekamoore.com. So info at Dr. Dr. Valeka Moore. togetthebook.com to get the book as well. So once again, I hope that the tips that I have shared today, that they have been helpful. I know that you're going to certainly enjoy the rest of the interviews, or have already enjoyed the interviews by the other ladies. And I just hope to hear from you. You can also reach out to me through Facebook, Dr. Valika Moore, and Instagram, Dr. Valika Moore as well. So take care, be blessed, continue to be brilliant, and I look forward to following you on your journey in entrepreneurship as well. Take care. Bye.
Hello, welcome to the Making of a Successful Businesswoman Summit. My name is Lindsay Vertner, and I'm honored to be sharing with you today. I am a peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. I teach female entrepreneurs and ambitious leaders how to master their mindset and increase their self-care, self-worth, and self-discipline, which I call the 3 pillars of self. And today we are going to be talking about the key factors to creating your first-class life. Now, what is a first-class life anyway? When you're living a first-class life, that means that you are walking fully in your purpose. That means that you are intentional about creating happiness in every moment that you can. That means that you're living a fulfilled life and making an impact in not only your life, but everyone connected to you. That means that you are living unapologetically you. You embrace every single part of you, flaws and all, and you don't care what others say about it because you are living boldly and authentically as who you are, which means that you're getting rid of all the masks that we wear when we pretend to be something that we're not to please other people. So that's what living your first class life is about. It is not about how much money you make, but it is about the quality of life that you are creating for yourself each and every day, and for those that are connected to you as well. And this is important because according to Harris polls, 2 out of every 3 people are unhappy in their lives. And that means if you're in a crowd of people and you're the happy one, the person to the left and right of you is not. And that's not okay, because when we're living an unfulfilled life, then that means that we increase our risk of depression, we increase our risk of anxiety, we have increased stress and overwhelm, and all of that stuff can overflow to our physical bodies. It weakens our immune system, shortens our lifespan, and it can lead to all kinds of emotional and physical health issues. And so we don't want to do that. So we're going to talk about living our first class life and what are some ways that we can begin to shift our mindset so that we can do that. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, Lindsay, how do you know what it takes to live a first class life? Well, let me tell you, not only have I studied it, not only have I helped clients around the world to achieve the results, but I have personally lived it. Each and every factor that I share with you, there are actually 10 of them, but we're going to get into just 3 of them here today. I have personally lived it. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to share my story for a moment. So in May of 2007, I found myself waking up in a completely dark room. I couldn't see, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I had no clue where I was. So of course I'm thinking like, man, I must be kidnapped, right? I must be kidnapped in some psycho's basement. And so I started to panic, like, because what else do you do in a moment like that but panic? I mean, I have no clue where I'm at. I can't see, I can't talk, and I can't move. I panicked so much that I exhausted myself out, okay? And I passed out. So the next time I wake up, I'm thinking like, man, that was a crazy nightmare. It felt so real. Only to slowly realize that I still didn't know where I was. I still couldn't talk, I still couldn't see, and I still couldn't move. However, Before I could panic again, a lady walks up to me and she starts to ask me questions, ask me my name, ask me the date. And in my head, I'm answering her like, my name is Lindsay. Today's date is, well, I'm not sure what the date is, but wait, who are you? Is what I'm thinking I'm saying. But in reality, the only noise that's coming out of my mouth is, because there was a tube going down my throat, keeping me alive. Turns out the lady was my nurse and I was in a hospital. She proceeds to tell me that an entire week ago, on May 13, 2007, the car I was driving flipped multiple times before landing off the opposite side of the highway, upside down. I had to be cut out of the car and I was pronounced brain dead on the scene. I was flown by helicopter to a trauma hospital where again I was pronounced brain dead on arrival. However, God had other plans for my life because despite being pronounced brain dead on multiple occasions, surgeons proceeded to do emergency surgeries on me anyway. They didn't expect me to make it through the night. They didn't expect me to make it through the next day. And the nurses explaining all this long list of injuries. And to top it all off, I was paralyzed. So 1 minute, I'm minding my own business, driving home from visiting my mother, surprising her for Mother's Day weekend, and I'm on my way home. And the next minute, I'm waking up in the hospital being told that I was brain dead and paralyzed. Now, there were two things that I was thinking. One, thank God I was alive. And two, thank God I wasn't kidnapped in some psycho's basement, okay? But here's the thing. In that moment, I had a choice. Was I going to be a victim to my circumstances or be a victor over my obstacles? And I chose to be a victor because what I realized is that I thought I was living a good life before, but I was not living at my fullest potential. I was not living a truly first-class life. And so it was that recovery process that led me to walking in my purpose in what I do today. And that's why I'm so honored to share some of those factors with you because I have personally lived each and every one. And so you can see right here on the screen, possibly, that article, that was me. So we're going to talk about the factors that it takes to live a first-class life, okay? So the very first factor is intention matters. You have to be intentional about the things you want and don't want for your life. And you have to think it, see it, do it, be it, okay? Envision what you want for your life. Envision what you don't want for your life. Well, we don't even want to think about those, right? Because here's the thing, the things that we're thinking about in our minds creates the reality that we are living in. So we have to be very mindful of our thoughts because they're very powerful. They have the power to speak life or death over any situation. For example, with my wreck, I set my intentions on walking again, period. I didn't care what anybody else said. I was going to do whatever it took to be able to walk again because I didn't want other people taking care of me. I had so many things that I still desired to do with my life that I had not done yet. So in my mind, I set my intentions on walking. I pictured myself walking. I believed that I would walk again. So you have to be intentional about what it is that you want for your life. When you put out fuzzy desires, you get back fuzzy results, okay? Sometimes we settle for things because we don't believe that we're truly good enough for the things that we desire, but we're going to get to that in just a second. But it's important to be crystal clear about the things that you want for your life and what you don't want for your life, and then focus on what you do want, because what you think about, you're going to attract that into your life. Now, the next thing you want to do is to make sure you're boosting your self-worth. Now, self-worth and confidence are two different things, okay? Because you can be confident in something, but have a low sense of self-worth. You can be confident in your abilities to perform a certain job. You can be confident in your abilities to drive a car, but that doesn't mean that you have a high sense of self-worth. So those are two different things. Now, a good indicator to kind of gauge your sense of self-worth is, do you find that you're a people pleaser? Do you find that you are apologizing for a lot of things? Are you often very tense in certain areas where you know you have no reason to be tense? Like, these are some good indicators of a low sense of self-worth. If you constantly feel the need to apologize, even if you did nothing wrong, if you're a perfectionist, trust me, recovering perfectionist here, so I know what it's like. I've been there. These are some indicators of a low sense of self-worth. But you have to remember that you are worthy of everything that you desire. So going back to my rec, for example, people were calling me Miracle Woman and Walking Miracle. I didn't feel good enough to be that person. And that emotional recovery process, just knowing, like, it made all of that boil up to the surface about not feeling good enough. And so many other women do not feel good enough for whatever it is that you desire in your life. And so we end up settling and being content, knowing that we want more. We're going to kind of stick to this job, even though we really want this job. But whenever the job is available, we don't apply for that promotion. We don't show up the way that we should show up because we don't truly feel like we're worth it. But let me tell you, you are worth every single thing that you desire in your life. And it's important that you recognize that, because you are made in his image and you are worth it. So a good way to boost your sense of self-worth is to use affirmations, because like I said, the things that we think in our head create the reality that we live in, because our thoughts influences our actions and our actions influences our environment. So use affirmations. Make sure you speak in the present tense. Make sure that you use I am statements, okay? Don't say, I hope that I'm confident, or I wish to be confident. No, say, I am confident. So think about what areas you struggle in and use powerful I am statements as affirmations. So one of my favorite ones that I created that we're going to go through, repeat after me, okay? And I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see it. I am more powerful than the blocks in my life. I am fully capable of achieving all that I desire. Are you saying it? Are you saying it? I am worth it. Let's say that again. I am more powerful than the blocks in my life. I am fully capable of achieving all that I desire. I am worth it. Say this each and every day, in the morning when you wake up and in the evening when you go to bed. If you find yourself struggling throughout the day, just repeat some affirmations to yourself. Every time you walk past a mirror, stop and give an I am statement and just boost your self-worth up, okay? Because this is important, because if we don't truly believe that we deserve the things that we desire, then it comes across in our actions and we self-sabotage, whether that's through procrastination or perfectionism or different things like that. You know, self-sabotage shows up differently in all of our lives. So we have to truly believe that we are worth everything that we desire. And that's going to influence how we behave and how we interact with the world, which influences the reality that we create for ourselves. Now, lastly, you have to take action, because all my spiritual people that out there know that faith without works is dead. So intentions without actions doesn't do anything. You have to put actions behind your mindset and intentions. So for example, using myself again, whenever I said I wanted to walk, I had to then turn around and put the actions behind those intentions. So God did what he could do in the spiritual sense, as far as making sure that I was still here. My medical team did what they could do in the scientific sense, as far as all of my surgeries that I had to have done. And then at some point, the baton was passed to me, and only I could make the choice to be a victim or a victor over my circumstances. And as I already mentioned, I chose to be a victor because that's not the life that I wanted to live. I wanted to live a first-class life. And so what did I do to make that happen? I took action. I focused on the positives, because we can't focus on the positives and the negatives at the same time. We have to choose one or the other. It takes the same amount of energy to be miserable as it does to be happy. So choose wisely. So I chose to focus on the positives. I set my intentions on walking, and then I went to therapy 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day, holidays and weekends included. And when I say I was at therapy all day, I would mean cognitive therapy, behavioral therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, shock therapy. Every therapy there was, I was in it. I mostly spent a lot of my time in physical therapy and shock therapy because of the injuries that I sustained. And let me tell you, those did not feel good at all. It was excruciatingly painful. And shock therapy is when they hook you up to machines and they send electrical volts throughout your body. That didn't tickle, okay? But I did it because I wanted to walk, and I was willing to do whatever it took to walk again. That's why intentions are important, because when the going gets tough, the tough get going, okay? Because there are going to be obstacles along the way. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at in life, there are always going to be obstacles that arise. But the difference between the victims and the victors is how you handle those obstacles. And when we set our intentions, it helps us to keep pushing when we know what we're fighting for. It helps us to keep going when the road gets tough. So because I had set those intentions on walking again, I got up each and every day and I went to therapy, despite it being as painful as it was. So you have to put actions behind your intentions. So remember, intentions matter. Think it, see it, do it, be it. Focus on the positives. Know what you want and know what you don't want, and then focus on going after what you do want. Boost your self-worth. Know that you are worthy of every single thing that you desire in your life. You are worth it. And then lastly, take action. You have to put action behind those mindset shifts, okay? So set the intentions and then take action after it. And to help you take action, I have a freebie that I would like to share with you. Go to bit.ly/take action download, and you can download your free action plan guide. And this is going to help you to take your goals and take your desires and map them out in a way that you can easily achieve them and make it very, very practical for you to achieve your goals so that you can begin living your first class life or elevate your first class life that you're already living. So go download your free gift at bit.ly/take action download. Again, my name is Lindsay Vertner, and I'm super honored to have shared with you today key factors to creating a first class life. Now, as I mentioned, there are technically 10 key factors, but we only have time for 3 of them today. But make sure that you connect with me at liveafirstclasslife.com. If you want to find out what those other factors are, you can check me out on social media. Visit my website at Lindsay Vertner across all social media platforms. And again, I just want to say thank you to Talisha Berry and Courageous Woman Magazine, and to all of the other phenomenal co-authors. Make sure that you purchase your copy of The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. This is an awesome, awesome book. And I'm just honored to be among these pages with all these other phenomenal ladies. My chapter is on page 125. It's called From Pain to Purpose, the movie. And I go a little bit deeper into my story and I share some key tips about what it took to be the successful businesswoman that you see in front of you today. So again, make sure you purchase your copy of The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. Make sure you reach out to me. Make sure you download your free gift, and you have an awesome, awesome, blessed day.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lisa Cox Romaine, and it's an honor to be here. I am so grateful to Miss Talicia Berry for the opportunity to have just a few moments to share with you a little bit more about me, my contribution to this wonderful compilation. Yes, The Making of a Successful Businesswoman, with 20 amazing business women. And the topic that I'm actually going to focus on today is be true to you and not give up on you. You are worth the fight. And so I want to go forward and once again just thank all the women who have contributed to this book that you should have, because it has some amazing tips on how to not only be a successful businesswoman, but to just be successful in life. And so as one of the authors, I'm hopeful that some of the information that I'm going to share with you today will be life-changing and transformative. And I just want to empower you and encourage you to invest in yourself because you're worth it. And so who am I? I'm glad you asked. My name is Lisa Cox Romaine. I'm an organizational psychologist, a licensed marriage and family therapist, a licensed professional clinical counselor, a substance abuse professional, and also have been teaching in higher education at colleges and universities for over 25 years. So speaking and teaching are not unfamiliar to me, but part of what I wanted to focus more on today is the things that I have such a passion for, which is women empowered, if you will, encouraging women to be their true authentic selves, and sharing insights that will hopefully catapult women to that next level. And so one of the things that really just kind of inspired me to launch my business, I had so many people who were very instrumental in my life. And as I speak about it in the chapter on the making of an entrepreneur from LA to LLC, I spoke about how as a young girl, I had someone who loved me and cared about me, and it was actually my teacher. She was just so supportive of me on my journey at that time, and she lived in an area that I had always aspired to want to be involved in and a part of in Los Angeles. And she actually drove a car that I still really kind of have my sights on having one day. But I really wanted to be a part of what I saw in her, which was educating people, investing in people, and also reaping the benefits from what you do as an educator. And so because she poured into me, I always had those entrepreneurial sort of insights. And even though I did not go into elementary education like she had, I chose to invest a lot of my time into higher education, and just have really had an honor and a great privilege of having students trust me with so many of their life stories. Even though it was in an academic setting, I found that a lot of people had opened up their hearts to me about their different journeys and struggles. And I had just this really kind of tugging on my heart to really sort of launch out, because I've always wanted to be someone who not only took all of their early childhood experiences and turned them into something even more beautiful. But I wanted to do something that gave me the level of freedom that I didn't necessarily always have as someone who's been in higher education for over 25 years. And so right now, I have two practices where I focus primarily on mental health. And I work with some really, really delicate populations, primarily serving those who are on journeys of domestic violence, child abuse, substance abuse, and anger management. And one of the things that I have found is that people on those journeys are hurt individuals, and some of them just need some encouragement and hope to understand that there is life outside of some of the very tumultuous things that they have gone through. And so it has just been wonderful seeing them change and transform for the most part, to be better parents, to be better friends, to be better partners, and things of that nature. And so my real focus of working with these populations really didn't come into fruition until I actually reflected on something that I spoke about in the book as well. Growing up in Los Angeles was in my neighborhood. It was such an amazing neighborhood as far as a lot of children running up and down the street, people talking to people. And I would always look at this particular couple and just thought, wow, you know, one day I'll have a relationship like that. And, you know, just kind of thought about all that came with being, you know, an adult and getting to do what I want, when I want, how I want. And I would often look out that window and just see that particular couple just engaging in, you know, what looked like to be adult business. And I remember one day looking out that same window, and it was really shocking to me, as a matter of fact, quite traumatic, because this same couple, the gentleman was hurting this woman tremendously, beating her. And I couldn't understand it because I had never seen that in my own personal life, nor had I seen them interact like that. And even more surprising was that no one ever helped her. She was screaming and hollering, and I just felt, wow, as a young person, what could I do with that? And just really kind of reflecting back on that experience as a young person, I thought, wow, I won't ever get into a relationship like that, nor will I let anybody mistreat me in that way. And so as I went on just in life, I didn't realize how much that particular incident had really sort of catapulted me into working with the populations that I work with right now, which is hurting people that hurt other people, but helping them to understand that they can turn that hurt into something very beautiful. And so that's pretty much how I actually had decided that I really wanted to have at least two businesses that focused on helping people in that way. But some of the things that I really used as a way to sort of guide me, if you will, on that path were scriptures in the Bible. I've always thought of myself as a Proverbs 31 woman. I've always been very interested in seeing something, saving up money to buy it, and really taking pride, if you will, in ownership, and also sharing the resources with people in a very intentional way. And so when the Bible speaks about a Proverbs 31 woman, she is the woman, right? She is a woman of faith. She is a woman who sees something, takes her own money, and she provides for her family, and she's unapologetic about it. And that's one thing about myself. I'm very unapologetic about the things that I choose to invest in. I'm very intentional about investing into me, and I encourage women and others to invest in themselves because you are worth it. If you don't invest in you, if you don't take time to be with you, sometimes it's a little difficult to show that your worth is something that you're not going to compromise. And so I often tell people, take the time to invest in you, because when you invest in you, you could actually see a lot more of your business endeavors and also the nuggets that God is dropping into your spirit much more clearly. And so Proverbs 31:16 was very instrumental to me when I decided to really sort of launch into owning my own private practices. And actually, it was very, very difficult and quite scary because financially, I didn't know if I was going to be able to make all ends meet, being a mother and providing for 4 children. Just didn't know if that was what I wanted to do back in 2013. But I did decide to take the leap with some amazing women who encouraged me to do so. But prior to that, God had given me the scripture, Habakkuk 2:2, which was to write the vision and make it plain. And had I not listened to, my Heavenly Father about everything that He had already birthed in me and really kind of dusting it off and having it come to fruition, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now sharing with you how I have been able to really enjoy some of the fruits of the wisdom and the labor of just being committed and faithful to what God purposed in me even before He even dropped me into my mom's womb. And so what I encourage people to really kind of think about is, what has God been talking to you about? God speaks through people, and there's quite a few people who tell you that you're great at some things. There are some individuals who are not, clear about who you are, understand your path. But what has God shown you, and what is He telling you? And I would really encourage you to think about that and to really stay the course with regards to that. Because if you don't adhere to what He's sharing with you, you might miss out on some valuable pieces as to how He wants to bless you and others that He brings in your path. And so just some of the tips that I would really encourage you to think about as far as being a successful businesswoman is, once again, trust God that your life is beautifully and wonderfully made and that there are no mistakes. There's going to be some ups and some downs, but that's all a part of embracing the success that God has for you. But you really need to write it down, whether you write it down on sheets of paper, which I've done throughout my lifetime. I would always write things down to remind me of the vision that God put before me. And there's a lot more things that He has given me that are, forthcoming. So stay tuned for those things. But you need to write it down. If you have to make vision boards and put pictures to remind yourself of what the end goal is, do that. You also want to research your industry, because you want to make sure that wherever the need is, that you're going to be the solution to the problems. Yes, you are the solution. People are going to come to you to solve problems. And so that is what you need to really think about when you decide that you want to launch out. You have to be very strategic and know what your next move is. You don't have to have all the money, resources, or the business assets in order to launch successfully. You just have to be ready to do it and move when God tells you to. And whatever He brings you to, He also has the resources to help you get through that. And so make sure that you research your industry and make sure that whatever the problems are, that God has already equipped you with the solutions for that. You also, really, really important is to surround yourself with positive people, positive things. You want to make sure that on this journey, who really are the people who are in your corner. And these are not the people who are just going to be telling you things to make you feel good. Of course, they're going to encourage you, but they're also going to tell you things that may not feel so good, but because they care for you and love you and see your vision and wish you success, they may also tell you areas of growth that you might want to be mindful of. Because remember, the people that love you the most are going to tell you the truth. Okay, so look around and see who's in your support network. Make sure that they are true to their word, right? Because we need healthy people, not perfect people. But we also need to be open to constructive feedback and take that in ways that will help us to continue to move forward. So check and see who's positive in your sphere of influence. And you also want to make sure that if there are people who are unhealthy or toxic, you might want to really look at what purpose are they serving in your life. And if they are serving to constantly berate you, constantly, do things that don't make you feel supported, and they're making the journey that much more tough and difficult for you, move away from that, because you're only responsible for you and how you respond to other people. You're not responsible for what people say, what they do, and how they feel. You are responsible for being where you are right now. And so if you take a look at where you are right now and it's not where you want to be, find out what's preventing you, what's the barrier. And oftentimes it's this place of feeling stuck because of either the people that you have around you or some other barriers that you may or may not be aware of. But it's really, really important if you want to see your business ventures and your dreams come to life. You have to be willing to fight for them. Okay, you have to be willing to stay the course. You have to be willing to move people out of your sphere that may have at some point served a healthy purpose in your life, but now they're on a different path, which is not lining up with yours. And you have to be okay with letting go. It may mean letting go for this moment. It may be letting go for a lifetime. But remember, what God has for you is so much better than what you see and what you're experiencing right now. So give God an opportunity to work in and through you, and be okay with letting go of toxic people, places, relationships, because our bodies weren't necessarily meant to endure a lot of hurt and pain. Yes, as humans, we do experience that, and we are going to have some pretty tough times on this journey of entrepreneurship. But it's, like I said, it's making you understand the power and the resilience that you have inside of you. And you do need to stay the course. You need to be ready to work hard. You need to be ready to not give up when things don't go the way in which you would have imagined them to be. You have to be ready to just embrace whatever business endeavors with everything that comes with it. Don't give up. There's so many people who have given up and their dreams have died with them. There's many people, I'm pretty sure you've heard of this, who are in graves right now who have died with their dreams. Don't die with your dream. You are a one of a kind. No one can do things the way in which God has anointed you to do them. And there's so much success for you. And even though we are in a time of, as we would say, COVID-19, this time of incubation, this is really the time to really be still and listen and say, what could I be doing to invest in me? What do I need in order to make them a reality? And how can I launch into that next level? And so you want to be ready to work really, really hard for what you know that God has anointed you to do. So you want to make sure that you roll up your sleeves, okay? Make sure that you get this book. Ooh, can you see it? If not, you can see the image in the background. But this book right here, it's a must get, because all of the 20 amazing women who have contributed to this compilation here, they have shared some nuggets that are really transformative and life-changing. And if you're down, pick up this book, and you can be inspired by any one of our stories and how we went through some really, really tough times in order to get to where we are today. And so this is definitely a must get. Sharing it with other people are going to be just the thing that they need in order to have strongholds broken off of them. But you got to be your own cheerleader, right? Sometimes you have to pick up your pom-poms. They might be a little dusty and you need to kind of cheer yourself on this journey. It's not always going to be difficult, but I don't want to sit up here and be disingenuous and tell you that everything is always smooth sailing. But I tell you that being your own cheerleader and investing in yourself is so worth it. So even if you don't have a huge support system, if you have a lot of negativity in your ear, just know that you don't have to be one of those negative voices, and you can pick up your pom-poms and cheer yourself on, okay? You want to believe in yourself, okay? Even though your upbringing might have told you that you can't make it or that you don't have what it takes to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to challenge you to say that because you are here right now listening to this, you are resilient. You have what's called that bounce back, that fight back, okay? So believe in yourself, know that you can do it. And if things don't work out one day for you, just know that you can hit that reset button and start all over again, okay? You're an amazing individual. You have so much to offer, and keeping it all to yourself is probably not going to be the best thing, but you have talents and skills. We all are given talents and skills, some more than others, but we all have talents and skills. And to not use them to help others would be a waste. And so I say take just a little bit and just do it. Take a leap of faith. You're going to feel scared at times, and then other times you're just going to say, I'm jumping out into the water, right? Some things are going to be a little easier than others, but just do it. And if you are successful, share that success with other people because they're going to need that nugget to give them the encouragement to do the launch themselves. If you're not successful, share that too, so that maybe you can spare someone of not doing that thing. So with this book here, I encourage you because there's such rich jewels in here that you're not going to get anywhere else in such a good read as this. Once again, my sisters have taken their time, they've taken their stories, and they've invested in this rich book here. And it's something that you definitely want to have as a part of your reading library, okay? One of the other things, no matter what your journey is on this entrepreneurial endeavor, you gotta invest in self-care. And self-care looks different to many different people. But self-care is just that. You are caring for yourself, right? So every day I say, do something that makes you feel good. I encourage people to do some of the things that we know to do, which is get the proper amount of sleep, because when we sleep, those are opportunities where we get some of our really creative ideas, right? And when you wake up, write them down. They may not make sense right in those moments, but write them down, okay? When you eat healthy, lots of vegetables and fruit and exercise, that really contributes to your overall mental health and well-being. I'm just going to be honest with you, with these times of being, not able to go out and be as free as we once were in public arenas, we're having to be very creative in how we do take care of our temple, right? Because our temple is a gift to us. We actually don't belong to ourselves. And so we do need to take care of the temple that we have so that we can take all these creative ideas and energies and launch them in a way that is going to allow our successful businesses to flourish. And so think about in-home exercises, yoga, meditation, walking around your block, anything that will kind of get your body moving and get those creative juices flowing. When you get more oxygen to the brain and more blood flowing to other parts of your body, it does a body good. So self-care is wonderful. And remember, be around people who can encourage you. Be around people who believe in what you're doing. Be around people who are positive. Be around people who are doing things that you aspire to do, right? Be open to constructive feedback. Be open to taking in wisdom from people who have traveled the paths that you are on. I love more matured people in the sense of age because they have such rich insight on how they live their life. And I take from them those nuggets and really am intentional of incorporating them into my life. And so not only am I a teacher, but I am an active learner. And so look in once again your sphere of influence and see who you can learn from. Okay, that's wisdom. All right. And so I wanted to just share just a few moments, like I said, in this platform about the keys to being a successful businesswoman, a little bit of my entrepreneurial endeavors. I have many, many more that are brewing, if you will, and will launch soon. But one of the things that I would hope that you take away from this is that you are important. You are worth investing in. You are worth your dreams coming to fruition. You are beautifully and wonderfully made, and you can do this. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be a businesswoman. You can do anything that you put your mind to, but be ready to do the work that needs to be done in order to see your dream come true. You're worth it. Invest in you. Treat yourself. Get this wonderful book once again by Miss Talisha Berry, who has compiled all of these wonderful stories from these 20 amazing authors. Get it. This is a treat to yourself. And remember, you are worth it. You are worth the investment. And I wish you well. You can contact me on Facebook, which is LACR. You can also contact me on LinkedIn, okay, Dr. Lisa Cox Romaine. And you can also touch bases with me on my website at drlacox.com. It has truly been a pleasure just sharing with you just a few nuggets about my journey of success as a businesswoman. I am so honored to be involved intimately in the people's lives that I am involved in and some of the important work that God is allowing me to do. As a businesswoman, I get excited knowing that I'm part of something that is an answer to someone's problem. I am so grateful that God is allowing me to financially benefit from that and also to share those resources with others. And so this is just a little piece. There's so much more to come. But thank you so much. And thank you to all my sisters who have contributed to the making of a successful businesswoman. And I wish you all well. And remember, you are worth the investment. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Abney, and I am coming on to share with you the role that I play in the book, The Making of a Successful Businesswoman. This is a book that was compiled by Talisha Berry, the publisher of Courageous Woman magazine, and this is a book that shares 20 women as they talk about our inspiring journey to becoming an entrepreneur. Now, an entrepreneur, I was like, wow, am I really an entrepreneur? But I want to share with you what that means and who I am. Now, I am Jeanette Abney, which is my name. I was born Jeanette Brooks. So, if many of you out there are listening and you know me from going to school, middle school, yes, I was Jeanette Brooks, now Jeanette Abney. Now, in the chapter, I talk about with God, motivation, and determination, there are no limits. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Compton, California, and I was raised by a single mother. And one of the things my mother taught me was, and she instilled education. By instilling education, she told me with an education, you can do whatever you want to do in life. I learned that was a lie. because I became an educated threat. It's basically what happened. I went to school in Compton. I then transferred, went over to school in LA, and I graduated from Banning High School. Banning High School. What I learned throughout my journey, even in regards to being educated, was I did not know how individuals own their own businesses. I did not know how to go about this journey. I had a choice: either work in a bakery or drive a school bus. I didn't want to work in a bakery because I like to eat too much. So I probably would have ate everything I saw. And I loved orange cupcakes. And my mother worked at Dolly Madison. So that was not going to work for me. So I said, I'm going to drive a school bus. But then I didn't like getting up every morning driving a school bus. But I did that. But while driving a school bus, I was also the parent of 2 children at the time that are now adults. I learned that I had to go back to school to get my education, even though I had children where individuals would have thought, okay, Jeanette was going to go to college, she was going to do these things, but I kind of took a different path. But it still helped me with the journey that I pursued. So I did go back to college, got my degrees. My goal was to be an attorney and retire as a judge, but it didn't turn out that way. I wind up being in the wrong program because I found out in order to be an attorney, I wanted to know why individuals were criminals, so I started studying psychology. With that, I became a licensed therapist because I will never forget the day one of my teachers asked me, when you get your degree, what do you want to do? I said, well, I guess I want to be a criminal psychologist. She said, well, you're in the wrong program. You're in a program for a marriage family therapist. I'm like, how the hell am I going to be a therapist and a marriage therapist at that? When being married, I can't be married no longer than 2 years. But see, I was thinking with that stinky thinking, I was thinking negatively, and I didn't realize where God was going to take me. So on this journey, I then went from driving a school bus to becoming a social worker to working in the courts. And it was there that I lost my job. And I said, Lord, what am I going to do? And when I lost my job, I then learned and I bought a company. Me buying a company, and my daughter said she get tired of me saying this, but it wasn't for me. It was because my daughter was in college studying business finance. So I wanted to set her up in a position to where she would at least have a family company while I was working in the courts, but it didn't turn out that way. So it was then I became the owner of the Center for the Treatment of Addiction, which is an outpatient counseling center located in Orange County with multiple locations. There I served different roles. I served as the executive director, clinical director, as well as a therapist. I provide outpatient drug and alcohol treatment to individuals that are referred by the courts, by social services, and come in as private client. In addition to that, I do the 52-week domestic violence program, child abuse programs, parenting, and co-parenting. While doing this journey of being the owner of the Center for the Treatment of Addiction, it was not always easy for me. I remember losing my contracts. I remember fighting with the city of Fullerton. I remember fighting with the Orange County Probation Department. It seemed like every time I looked up, I had to fight with someone. In addition to while buying a company, I lost my mother. And that was the hardest thing in the world that I had experienced, was the death of my mother. Which it kind of seems like I'm piggybacking, I'm going back and forth, but it was there the inspiration came for my radio show, Precious Predicaments Blog Talk Radio, because her nickname is Precious. Now, with Precious Predicaments, that's where I host a weekly podcast that focuses on a variety of topics. I talk about addictions, parent-child relational issues. I talk about co-parenting issues. On Tuesdays, I do a show from the pulpit to the couch, where individuals receive biblical teachings from someone in ministry as well as myself, Jeanette Abney, a licensed marriage and family therapist. Now, before I did the podcast and I went through what I went through on my journey, as I share in my chapter, with God, motivation, and determination, there are no limits. It was interesting that when I lost my mother always wanted me to start a nonprofit organization. But instead, I started another company, J.A. Precious Inc. Now, I didn't know an S Corp from a C Corp to an LLC. I had no business knowledge whatsoever. But I had to step out on faith. And that's what got me through a lot of things. I'm not going to sit here and say it was easy. I'm not going to sit here and say it was very lucrative for me. But what I am going to say is that it helped me to figure out who I was as a woman, who I am as a businesswoman, and what my purpose is in life. Now, I've been the owner of the Center for the Treatment of Addiction for over 15 years. Since then, I put my daughter to college. I am now the mother of 2 adult children. I'm also a grandmother. Interesting enough, I learned a lot about myself being a businesswoman. I learned that it's not who people say I am, it's who God said I am. I learned that when I stepped into this role, it was a role that I had no idea of what to expect. I learned so much that now I love to give back to other individuals and other women as well as men who want to be entrepreneurs, who also want to pursue a career or degree or even open up their own business and doing what I do. Now, the Center for the Treatment of Addiction, as well as J.A. Precious Inc., are outpatient counseling centers. When I do my groups, it's interesting because I tell individuals, especially when we talk about the Center for the Treatment of Addiction, I'm not a recovering addict. I never did drugs or alcohol in my life. But with that being said, I had to learn that addiction does not discriminate. It affects people from all walks of life. But one of the things that I learned, and I learned from my clients, is that I had the ability to empathize with individuals. And the clients would come to my facility because they knew that I cared. I used to tell a story growing up in Compton. I used to throw onions and grapefruits at crackheads. And I apologize to many of them that are still alive now because I didn't know any better. So when I say in my chapter that God has a sense of humor, He does have a sense of humor because it was not what I asked for. I used to tell individuals I eat too much to smoke weed. I'm already paranoid, so I don't need methamphetamine. I can go to sleep whenever I want to, so I don't need heroin. And I don't need to drink because I've never seen a drunk win a fight. But my passion is in helping individuals understand that that may be where you are, but it doesn't mean that's where you have to stay. So as you read through this journey, and if you are interested in becoming a businesswoman, or even as a man, remember, step out on faith. Find your passion. Don't be afraid. And when somebody tells you no, delayed does not mean denied. So when I say, with God, motivation, and determination, there are no limits, there is no limits. I want to share with you guys, I'll never forget, when I became the owner of the Center for the Treatment of Addiction, I went through purity hell with the County of Orange. Being fired, with having a job that I love. I remember my mother told me as she was dying of cancer, baby, you fighting a spiritual battle. I didn't know what she meant. That's what sent me back to church. And I'm not going to say I did it all by myself because I had good staff. I had great mentors. I had friends that helped me along the way. I had my daughter that was there for me. And I also had my clients that motivated me, that pushed me, that believed in me, and that trust me with their lives. And I appreciate them for that. So this book is not only for myself, it is also a contribution and a way of giving back to them, because they also helped me to become a businesswoman. So I hope you enjoy your read as you read the chapter, as well as when you read the other stories that these women have to say and talk about as they endured their journey of the making of a successful businesswoman. And I want to say, one of the things I always quote, success is not measured based on how successful you are. Because even in my chapter, I talk about how my business was not lucrative as time went on because I ran into so many obstacles. And when I go to the bank, they would treat me like I'm a superstar even when my account was overdrawn. I view success based on how many other individuals you can help to become successful. And that is powerful because most individuals go into a business because they want to become rich. I didn't want to be rich. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to encourage. I wanted to empower. And I wanted to strengthen relationships. So I hope you enjoy the chapter. Again, my name is Jeanette Abney. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I am the owner of the Center for the Treatment of Addiction, as well as J.A. Precious. I am the podcast host of Precious Predicaments, Blog Talk Radio. I am a public notary. And again, I'm a woman of God, a mother, and a grandmother. So I want to say thank you. Thank you, Tralisha, for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of this project, and enjoy your reading. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Lasha Ray and I am a life coach, and I am so excited that you are here for our summit for the makings of a successful businesswoman. I am so excited to tell you about the chapter that I wrote called Stuck in the Comfort Zone. Okay, during the process of writing this, I really want to get across that we kind of hinder ourselves from being successful in the ways that we want to go. That every obstacle that we go through in life help us get to our final destination, and that's in business, that's in life. So I really wanted to let you know that you cannot stay in the same place and think that you're going to get to where you need to be in life. You have to progress as a person. And when we're comfortable, we kind of become plateaued and we don't reach for those stars and those things that really make us who we are as people. So I wanted to name it Stuck in the Comfort Zone because people need to know that if you are comfortable, then you need to move. Okay? So when I was really thinking about all the things that made me who I am, I started off when I was a kid. So I started talking about the things that how I already had a lot of confidence. That was something that I was born with. But where I'm from Compton, California, that kind of, everybody's like, oh, she's conceited, she thinks she's all that. But it really wasn't that. I really just loved myself. And I saw that I wanted better. It was always that way for me. I was like, well, I'm going to buy me a house. I'm going to have this nice car. I'm going to be doing all these amazing things. And people were like, you're feeling yourself too much. You're not going to be doing all that. And life has been blissful, but it started with my mindset and the way that I saw myself. So I'm never comfortable. I've got things that I wanted as a kid already in my life now. But that doesn't mean that I stopped going and stopped reaching for the things that I wanted in life. So when writing my chapter in The Makings of a Successful Businesswoman, I wanted to let people know that, we do progress in life. but we cannot get stuck. So what I tried to do is break down the word stuck and give you words that can remind you of where you don't want to be when you're thinking about that comfort zone place. Okay, so I said S, meaning safe. If it's safe, you might want to move because we get complacent. I said that earlier. If it's safe, we want to move. Okay, let's go and look. And T, I said trap. Trap, meaning you're stuck in your head. You don't really know who you are. You don't really know where you want to be, but you're trapped in that space because that's that person that's kind of listening to them other people and the people that's tearing them down and not really focused on where they want to go, but they know what they want to do, but all this noise and all this array is going on around them that they cannot focus on their dreams. So they trapped in that place because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to get up out that place. Another topic that I touched on was undereducated. I say undereducated, I don't necessarily mean you don't have a college education. What I'm saying is you cannot start a business if you don't go out and seek business classes, how to manage money, what it's going to take, product and demand for your product. How do you put all of these aspects together to make a successful business? If you don't have that education behind you, you can start a business and it fail. It fall up underneath your feet, because you didn't put in the work beforehand to educate yourself on the product, on the time consumption. Is it a demanding business? Do you know how much work you have to put in it before you get started? You should know that. So you have to educate yourself. The fourth point that I made was being closed-minded. You have to open up your mind to new ways, to new ideas, to new adventures in life. Because if you close your mind to new things, it's hard to get to the other side because you're going to be stuck in the 80s and we're in the 2020s. Do you understand that? So you have to keep evolving. And the way you keep evolving is to keep your mind open. Make sure other people can tell you something or help you out or be there to support you because that's important. So, and that's keeping an open mind. The best thing I learned was because I'm a elementary school teacher. And one of the elementary school teachers in Virginia, she had been teaching for 30 years. And I just admired how, whether she listened to me, and I experienced not being listened to as a teacher because I'm younger. And even if I said something, she respected what I said, or she was even willing to try it. So it made me feel good, okay. But it was because her mind was open. And she was an amazing teacher, amazing teacher. And it didn't stop her from listening to somebody that had less experience. It wasn't like, oh, I know everything. Not that I knew everything, but I was, you just add your little 2 cents in, but it had the opportunity to listen. And that kind of where we need to be when it comes to being open-minded is just being able to listen. What you can take and leave, whatever you want to leave. And the last point I want to make is called the keeper. So we as people try to help everybody come with us. So what I mean by that is if somebody is going through something, we try to help them come with us, but we ain't got our stuff all together. Okay? So the number one is to make sure that you're in the right predicament to get you to where you need to go. Because you cannot drag people along with you. It's like if you're taking a walk and you had a brick on your back and you're trying to drag this brick everywhere you go, and the journey becomes harder. And if you lighten the load and the brick is gone, you can achieve more. You won't be as tired at the end of the day. You won't be as easily to give up. So that keeper mode is like, well, I can't leave them behind. This is my family. We were raised together. We cannot get in that space. We have to evolve for ourselves. And hopefully when we get to where we need to go, we can come back and help the people that were not able to help themselves. So we can come back and say, because we need help too. So we can get our little help from the people that may be more advanced than us. And then when we get to where we need to be, we can help those people from our neighborhoods and give back and feed the communities when we get to where we're going. But if we never get there because we have all this luggage and we dragging it around, how can we help? So make sure you're not being the keeper, okay? And make sure you're not being kept. So that's all I have for you guys. I am so excited about this book, The Makings of a Successful Businesswoman. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Life Coach Ray. You can find me on YouTube at Life Coach Ray with my wonderful children. And you can also find me on Instagram at Life Coach Ray. And thank you so much.